Welcome to the Metal Forge. I am Brandon Green.
I'm Benfo. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. So we're talking today about a really exciting upcoming release. I've been super psyched about this. This has been years in the making.
Dude, almost 6.5 years, basically.
I love this band. I can't wait to talk about it. We got an exclusive sneak peek to the album. And we got some thoughts about it. So we're talking today about Obsidian Tongue's Volume 3. Volume 3.
No, you did it that way, I did it this way.
Yeah, we're from different parts of the world. Isn't this like something from Inglourious Basterds?
Yeah, it is. That's how he knows he's not from where he says he is.
So I would have been murdered.
Yeah, right. Or it might have been me. I haven't seen the movie in a while.
I don't remember which way it is.
Yeah.
But, all right. Anyways, we're not talking about Inglourious Basterds. We're talking about Obsidian Tongue's Volume 3.
That's right.
So this is an excellent band. They're a two-piece band, atmospheric black metal. Widely respected. They've done a couple of tours with some pretty big name acts. They toured with Agalloch. They started out in Plymouth, Massachusetts, and they were mostly Massachusetts based for a while.
Right.
And then they took off up to Portland, and they were joined by Ray Capizzo on drums. He's the live drummer for Panopticon and also the drummer for Falls Auroros. And the black metal scene up in Portland is alive and well, and clearly they're doing good things up there. So we're going to talk about Volume 3. What are your thoughts?
Well, Obsidian Tongue has a really strong history of very cerebral but catchy songs. My Hands Were Made to Hold the Wind off their last record is really one of my top of all time metal songs. Brendan's songwriting is it's impeccable, dude, and he knows how to make songs that really ebb and flow, and he really builds crescendos and then hits you with this climax and then brings you back down. And really, I think one of the things that I noticed in this record, because you don't ever want to hit a plateau. As a musician, you don't want to hit a plateau and just kind of ride that, right? You always want to be progressing and getting better in some way.
This album definitely is a progression.
It is, for sure. And I think the most notable progression that I recognize is Brendan's vocal style. And he hits everything from these very chant-driven cleans to shouty, almost punk rock-esque.
It was one of my favorite parts and surprises of the whole album. Is that diversity in the vocal style.
Very diverse, and there's layers of vocals too. There's spoken word while they're screaming, and they're panned into such a way that you gotta listen to this album on headphones. First of all, speakers will not do it justice. No matter how nice your speakers are, you gotta listen to this album on headphones.
Dave Kaminsky of Studio Wormwood really killed it with this in terms of doing the engineering for it and doing the mastering. It's really set up for vinyl with headphones.
Yes, absolutely. So, lots of reviewers before us have noted the atmosphere of the album, and really this is a pillar of Obsidian Tongue's music. It's, as you said, it's atmospheric black metal.
But it's so much more than that.
It is. It absolutely is. It's very catchy. It's very progressive. It's really for people who just enjoy music, and this is one of the I see Obsidian Tongue and Inhuman Form as kind of similar but different in the way that they're taking the root of black metal and just kind of putting their own spin on it. So
and you can tell that Brendan is well versed in good songwriting and understands there's a lot of I hear a lot of Pink Floyd influence,
right?
With the flangers and the the big epic David Gilmour-like leads, you know, and in addition to like the really beautiful clean sections and
wonderful clean sections,
ridiculously well composed. And the album runs about a little over 43 minutes, and there's 5 songs. And it really is a journey. I mean, the way that the album starts, it's trance-like. You know, and where the album really kicks off for me is, you know, tracks 3 and 4. Track 3 is Return to the Fields of Violet. That's the single that's actually out right now.
Check that out.
You can check that out on their Bandcamp page, and they had there was exclusive streaming also available online that you can check out. That song is kind of in my opinion, sort of a cornerstone of the record, but it's so iconic and memorable, and all the rhythms and the heavy drums, and like it's almost tribal sounding at some points with how it kind of ebbs and flows. And, and then Empath, I feel like, is really the pinnacle of the whole album. That is, in my opinion, one of the most unbelievable songs I've ever heard. It is just a testament to how you write something that is really long and complex, but paced in a way that is
It doesn't feel like a 13-minute long song at all.
Not at all.
So,
and you know, the record closes out with a really beautiful melodic piano piece, and it feels like this album is so deliberate.
Yes,
you know?
Very deliberate.
Very, very deliberate. And that's something, like, when we look for songwriting and sonic quality, musicianship, all that kind of stuff, lyrics and themes. I mean, the lyrics and themes in this is, like, in my opinion, it's rooted in a lot of emotion and dreamscapes and, like, you know, am I actually here? Is this a real thing? And it's very fantasy-like, but not fantasy in the sense of, like, you know,
power metal fantasy?
No, not at all. I would say, like
mystical type of
kind of stuff. And it's like, I don't know, like, it takes you to another world, I would say, for sure.
Right.
And I mean, this is something that Bindrune Recordings, I feel like, as a label, pays attention to. Because if you think about all the other bands on that label, you know, Falls Auroros, Panopticon, The Chachwin, Obsequiae, like all those bands are very, I want to say, pushing boundaries on that whole atmospheric, melodic black metal kind of sound. And I feel like they're all sort of doing their own thing with that approach.
Yes.
And Brendan and Ray just absolutely nail it with this record, and I think everyone's going to be very excited when it actually drops. Yeah,
I think that's one of the things too that I made a very strong note of, is the ebb and flow of this album, and it's something that Obsidian Tongue and Brendan does incredibly well, is the pacing, the balance of the album, because they know how to go from blistering, tremolo picking, huge sounding, to like these beautiful trance-like kind of parts, and that's really what makes the beautiful trance-like parts sound even more beautiful, because it's kind of juxtaposed by this slamming in your face, like vicious black metal part or something like that.
It is very much black metal, but it's very much more than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in terms of sonic quality, this record is just, it's got its own identity, its own DNA. And you can hear how, I'm going to keep using the word deliberate, because I feel like it's the most appropriate way to describe it.
Yeah, and you have a little insider knowledge about how it was recorded.
Yeah,
too.
so this is kind of cool. You know, through talking to the band a little bit, I had a chance to catch up with them on how they approach things, and I thought this was really interesting. They actually didn't use a click track. And I feel like that's a massive testament to the talent of this band, because Ray's ability, he's like basically a human metronome. The drums are so tight on this record, and everything is so well composed, and you know, it feels like you can feel the chemistry between these two. You know, when you listen to this album, and I feel like that decision to go without a click and do that live feel really served what this album ultimately sounded like in the end.
It sounds like a live album almost.
It sounds like that. And there's all those imperfections that are in it make it perfect in a way.
Yep, absolutely. And I think this would be for it's tough to kind of say like who, if you've never heard Obsidian Tongue, like who it's for. We've seen them actually play with Wolves in the Throne Room. I think that's kind of a comparison that gets thrown around a bit. I would say even Agalloch to a certain extent.
Yep.
If you miss Agalloch, I would definitely say check out Obsidian Tongue. I would even say like kind of maybe a little bit of like the post black metal sort of vibe. Maybe like if you like Altar of Plagues, you might really be into it as well. But I think Obsidian Tongue is really kind of on their own sort of level. I really think the banger songs are Return to the Fields of Violet and Empath. Like, man, those songs, and I love when an album really just crests and it holds your attention at these incredible songs, and man.
And the melodies on the guitar, the big, beautiful, epic leads with the clean vocals, and
yeah.
it really is kind of it's a treasure in the black metal community. I think a lot of people are going to be really happy with it, and I think it's going to be something that people will talk about for a long time.
Yes, just don't keep us waiting for another 6.5 years, guys. You got something great going on. We're talking to you, Brendan and Ray. Give us another one soon. Let's go.
Yeah, this is good stuff, man. We were super psyched to review it. I couldn't wait to put it on and really just dive in and sink my teeth into it. Yep. And I can't wait to hear more.
What's your rating?
I almost gave this a perfect score.
Yeah.
But I don't know. To me, it's like I don't want to do that because it's like I don't want to start giving perfect scores to everybody. Maybe it is a perfect score. Mm-hmm. It's a perfect score to me. I honestly, I don't even know how you could improve it. You know, like
right.
What else would you change?
That's why I give it a perfect score.
Yeah,
I'm giving it 5 out of 5 tongues.
I think I'm gonna change mine to 5 out of 5 tongues.
Yeah. Okay.
I would give this. Yeah. I mean, it's. In all of its flaws, there is flawlessness.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be in my 2020 running in playlist for a long time.
I already know it's going to be on my album of the year list.
So. Strong words from the Metal Forge. Right here, Benfo, Brandon. We got an Instagram. We got maybe other social media things too at this point. I don't know. It's January 23rd that we're recording this. We're trying to stay ahead of the curve. If you've been paying attention to us, we really, really appreciate you. Spread the word, give us a like and a subscribe, and we'll catch you around. Take care.
See you soon.